Recently, I got a chance to hang out behind the cameras with all the folks that put together the daily broadcast, and it's really cool to see them pull this off every day. The people are incredibly special.
Right
that
on
do
time,
This. Who is this?
behind the scenes
Ryan
with Ryan
Thompson.
Thompson,
Hey,
making it a tradition.
Real quick, Ryan, what do you make all the people who work behind the scenes here at Chase Field?
Dude, I love them, every one of them.
They're great.
Good people, work hard. This is just Diamondbacks from top to bottom. It's just awesome human beings. It's a pleasure to work with them.
There we go. Check it out, guys.
There in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and roll. Here we are.
They are the voices, the faces, buttons, and monitors that bring D-backs baseball to life.
Think of air traffic control or NASA screen room where they're seeing the launches and the landing on the moves and stuff. It's a lot of that. Everybody in this truck has their own specific job, and they come together in this room where it goes out on that big monitor right there.
That's Jeff Gowan, 7th season as coordinating producer inside the production truck, in the business since 1981.
Can't believe I've lasted this long. But the job is awesome because it changes every day.
He calls the shots, and there's a bunch to pick from.
Where we have over 25 cameras working this game.
From cameras way up at the top that can zoom all the way down to cameras way out in center field that can zoom into the normal view you see nightly on TV.
Where you sit depends upon what you see. So I sit here, our director sits here, and our technical director, the smart one, he sits over there.
Longtime Valley voices Jody Jackson and Todd Walsh sit in the driver's seat for the pre- and post-game show. Today, Todd's driving.
Every day is a blank canvas, and we get to craft the story, talk about what we saw, what we might see, analyze it a little bit, hopefully, and if we're not laughing, at least once a show, then I've failed.
Next to Todd is the well-known former D-back Mark Graves. He's been doing this longer than his playing career. 16 seasons on the field, 21 on the mic.
Here I am in my 60s, and I'm still around Major League Baseball, working with Todd and Jody, and sometimes Brandon Webb. Man, I'm the luckiest man in the world.
Up in the booth, play-by-play voice Steve Berthiaume. Coming up on 40 years in the business, 13 years calling D-backs games.
It started about 5:30 this morning when I recovered from a difficult loss last night, then started going through the game logs, looking up the numbers, adjust all the stats for every player who might appear in the game. That usually takes 2-3 hours. Have something resembling breakfast and then get in here early, meet with Tori, meet with Bob, and off we go.
13 seasons next to his tag team partner, former D-backs World Series winning manager Bob Brenly.
Anytime you get to come to the ballpark for work, it's pretty tough to argue with that. And, we've got a great crew here at Chase Field that we work with.
Personalities are a lot of fun, but it's the people that bring these broadcasts to life, the people behind the camera.
It takes a village to do this. We're with basically the same crew of people we've been working with for decades who are the best broadcast professionals in town.
The D-backs proudly displaying their family all over the ballpark. Outside,
The great Scott Geyer just recently retired this year. Our truck facility out there where we broadcast the games from, named in Scott's honor, and he had the opening pitch, and it was a perfect strike.
Nice. 33 years with the Diamondbacks organization.
and inside, a daily reminder what makes coming to work here so great.
We're nothing without them. They do all the hard work. We do the easy work. They're here countless hours trying to make us look better, and I'll cherish these people.
And when you're family, you get to sign the wall inside the broadcasting booth. Names like the Commissioner, Vin Scully, Corbin Carroll, and Arizona's hero John McCain all up there. And now this adopted Valley boy. Like so many here, we're so proud to work and live around the game we love. Now joining us live here on the set, who I call the soul of the Valley, Todd Walsh, here on set with us. Todd, it was so cool to get to meet. I've seen their faces over the years. You get to work with them every day. Just how special is the crew that you get to interact with on a daily basis?
I don't know if I said it in that piece, but I'm going to repeat it if I did. It takes a village. It's like family. They're a family for all of us. I see them more than I see anybody in my personal life every single day. And our broadcast day starts at 9 o'clock in the morning and then goes all the way through the game, and then the post game, and then the drive home is when we're putting together the next show. So, but it's still, it's a blank canvas every day. I haven't worked a day in my life, and I wouldn't trade it. This is what I've always wanted to do. It's long form storytelling, and everyone gets it. we all are all pulling on the same rope, and that's the best part about it, I think.
You've been here since 2001. I remember being an intern at one of the former broadcast partners with you, working with you.
With me?
With you,
Oh
yes. Jody Jackson as well, some
okay.
others, and getting to learn from you. But a lot of these faces I remember from back in 2011. What does that say just about the community and the family that's been built here to get people to come back year after year?
You know, we got an email from our boss at Major League Baseball yesterday, and his name is Doug Johnson. And basically what he said was, I am acutely aware that what you guys are doing today is not what anybody else is doing, because what most people in America are doing today is hanging out, having a barbecue, watching a ball game, and, you know, fireworks.
Yeah.
That's
It's a little
4th of July. But
a little different.
what you guys are doing is a collective effort, and you've been doing it for years. And I just think it's part of a continuing story. I thought when I was a kid once, this is a little out there, but that baseball is just like an endless game of repeated summers. That's something I said when I was in high school. And I have learned that that's true, because it just reinvents itself every year. The stories and so to have the same crew basically all that time just feels natural, and we're very lucky. I see your crew here. You guys are, you know, the first shows I ever did here in 2001 were right there in the dirt in a chair. If you were around then, you know that.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, I don't remember what I had for breakfast today.
No.
But I just see what has happened and how far we've all come.
Yeah.
And the fact that you guys are here as a partner of the Diamondbacks is extraordinary to me. I think, you know, Channel 12 is a heritage station. I have so much respect for it. And I think this is a great move for everybody involved.
Yeah. Speaking of your respect for Channel 12, when I asked you to come on, you were like, Cam, I have something to say about the Pheasant.
I do.
And I was able to find an old photo for you.
Yes, you did. And this is from my heart. When I first came to Phoenix in August of 1988, I was 24 years old. I was in a major market. I had no idea what I was doing. I was in over my skis. And back then, the newspapers, and there were three newspapers, there were television stations, a monthly radio stations, and we were competing for every morsel of coverage, and it was hard. But these guys right here that you see in this shot, outside of that basketball player that we all know.
That one guy.
Yeah, I see Jim Escobedo, one of the great photojournalists. I think I see Seth Sulka. I see Bruce Cooper.
Yeah, down there at the bottom.
But there's two guys in there that I'm sure are familiar to Channel 12 viewers, the late, great Bill Denny and the late, great Steve Vicente. And those guys helped me along the way. They never, ever turned away a question. If I needed help, if I needed them on the show, show me where to go. And I know that both of those guys were big-time baseball fans to the core.
Right.
Bill Denny pitched, as everybody knows, in minor league baseball, and Steve Vicente wanted to be a play-by-play announcer. And when little birdie told me that this deal was coming, I thought of them because I thought of your first show, and I thought if they were still here, they would have been here and here with big smiles, beaming, and I'll bet you they would have thrown out ceremonial first pitches. They were that ingrained in the path of baseball here in Phoenix, going out to Phoenix Muni in those Firebirds games when it was 112 degrees. They got it, and I just wish they were here to see this thing come to fruition. That's from my heart.
The best part with all that, Todd, you're here now to tell that story and that our viewers can hear it, and that's truly special.
Well, and you guys are here to carry on and take the torch, and I know how well that you do it. Again, I respect this place. I'm acutely aware of what goes on every day in and around the media here, and you guys are leading the way.
Thank
so
you, Todd.
Enjoy this ride.
Yep, we will.
Because you're coming here at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
We'll be here all day
on a
hanging
Friday.
out.
Yeah, right.
Perfect,
Where else
right?
would you want to be?
Seriously.
Yeah. We'll get you out on this tonight's game against the Royals. What do you see from this matchup and this team at this stage?
We're going to open the broadcast tonight. I have a theory that whenever there's bunting, and I'm not talking about bunting in the game, I'm talking about red, white, and blue bunting. Whenever there's bunting around the stadium, you have to win. Because that means you're home on a holiday.
Oh, yes.
Okay? It'll be a huge crowd tonight, and there's bunting.
Yeah.
So just win.
Enough
Simple
said.
as that.
To bunting.
See,
Even if it takes some bunting.
That's right.
Whatever
But it won't.
takes. But let's
bunting.
hope not.
Yeah.
Put your best people on it.
There we go. Like I said, the soul of the valley. Todd Walsh. Todd, we
that.
appreciate the time.
Thanks.